They walk towards Tino, who gives Scar her sword, claiming that she can survive without it for a bit. Suddenly, she senses something and dodges a spear heading towards her from the darkness. They are all incredibly shocked at this since the boss is already dead, but soon 4 more boss monsters emerge from the darkness, carrying several different weapons. This time even Tino feels like Cry went a little overboard as one boss was enough. But she is not going to let him down. She gets up once again and plans to quickly enter the nearby narrow cave where the beasts won't be able to chase them. But one of the monsters immediately covers the entrance, blocking their escape. Scar and Gil both speak up, telling the girls that they will act as bait while they quickly escape through the caves. Ruta tries to argue, but Scar tells her not to worry as everyone dies one day and it's better that some of them survive today. Tino, on the other hand, is not willing to sacrifice anyone as she wonders what Cry would have done in this situation. Suddenly, she remembers that she has the magical ring that he gave her. She tells them to back her up, so all 3 of them quickly attack the monster in quick succession, one after the other, while Tino uses the ring, which can shoot an air bullet at the enemy, and charges it before blasting the monster's eyes with it. The boss monster starts flailing around while Gil decides to go for the killing blow. Unfortunately, he ends up getting smacked away, and by the time Tino tries to help him, all the monsters are already on top of him. Just when they thought everything was over, Cry bursts into the cave and blasts the monster away into the wall. Tino is surprised to see him here, while Scar realizes that these beasts seem scared of him. One of the monsters tries to attack him, but thanks to Cry's protective relics, nothing happens to him. Cry quickly shoots a magic blast at the monster using his magic rings. The attack blasts the monster into the wall once again. He quickly takes out a smoke bomb and uses it to give everyone some cover to run away, and thanks to that, they all manage to escape. Cry then quickly heals Tino's legs, after which he tells them all to follow him, even though he himself is scared about not knowing what lies ahead in their adventure. He keeps walking with his head down, because he has absolutely no idea where he is and wishes that someone would take the lead and actually escort them instead. But all the party members have total belief in him as they expect him to know everything. After some aimless wandering, Gil finally asks Cry whether they are heading for the exit. Cry stays quiet, but Tino speaks up, claiming that he definitely has some other plans as she already knows the entire layout of the caves and they are heading in a totally different direction. Cry cries on the inside, wondering whether Tino is mad at him for sending them here and is intentionally not helping, but he decides to keep walking when suddenly all the remaining party members freeze as they ask Cry how he knew they needed to come here. Tino excitedly claims that Cry knows everything, and they all run ahead into the cave where they find the injured party that got lost in the vault. Cry is surprised to see them here because he definitely ran into them accidentally. The leader of the injured party named Rod thanks them for the help, but Tino tells him to thank Cry as he led them here. Cry immediately claims that it was just a coincidence, but obviously his party members think that he is just being humble. Ruta gives them the meds she had, but it is not enough, and they are still too weak since they haven't eaten anything in a while. Thankfully, Cry remembers that he is carrying an infinite chocolate bag relic and hands everyone some chocolates. Scar starts talking to Rod, claiming that he never expected a level 5 party to have trouble in this cave, and even Gil claims that the wolf monsters were definitely strong, but not strong enough to eradicate a fully stacked level 5 party. Rod seems surprised by that and claims that they didn't get shit on by the wolves as they never really saw them around. It turns out that a total Sigma Phantom monster appeared in front of them all alone and mauled them completely. He claims that the Phantom must be a special monster because it was strong enough to control even the wolf bosses, adding that he thinks that the Phantom might be even stronger than the Sword Saint himself. This takes everyone aback as everyone in the Imperial capital knows that the Sword Saint is the strongest swordsman alive right now. Cry simply munches down on his Snickers as he knows that the Sword Saint is none other than his childhood friend Luke. But he doubts that this Phantom is anywhere near as strong as rumored, as Luke would have made sure to kill the monster long ago. Still, he thinks it must be stronger than what he can handle, and wishes that he waited for the pretty boy Ark to handle this mission. Everyone inside the cave immediately turns towards Cry for further guidance, while he simply turns away in shame as he has no idea what to do. Finally, he decides to trick them to get some more time, and tells Tino that she is the leader of this party, and it is her job to lead them. Tino isn't too confident about it, but Cry claims that this would be good training and gaslights her into becoming the leader. Tino is very happy to hear that Cry trusts her so much and promises that she will not disappoint him. They start walking through the labyrinth of caves and soon find the exit of the cave visible in the distance. However, that gives them even more anxiety as they get worried about the phantom showing up. But Rod tells Tino that he will act as a shield for them so they can escape safely. Tino shoots down the idea, claiming that they are all returning safely since Cry is with them. Suddenly, they start hearing the howls of the wolf bosses coming towards them, which immediately puts them all on edge. Tino feels something incredibly strong coming in their direction, and even Cry can feel the presence, so he quickly shields her while thinking about all the relics that he has, including the relic that gives him extra lives. He currently has 5 extra lives, which means on the 6th hit, he is as good as dead. Finally, the deadly phantom becomes visible, walking towards them with his sword out. This scares the crap out of everyone, but to make matters worse, a second figure appears behind the phantom, which is simply too much even for the brave Tino. She starts trembling and hides behind Cry, begging him to save them. Cry, however, stops being worried as he recognizes the second figure and wonders what she is doing here. Without even a single word, the mysterious person becomes Ronaldo and kicks the phantom with such a strong kick that it gets embedded into the walls of the cave. The masked woman walks up to Cry asking whether everything is okay, and removes her mask to show that she is none other than the lowly Liz, now all grown up. The young members wonder in awe how a human can be this strong, but this pisses Liz off as she wonders how they can be monster hunters without even knowing who the grievers are. She tells Cry that she came all the way to the city to meet him, but when she arrived at the mansion she heard that he was out in the cave to help the party out. She then tells him to back off as she needs to talk with her student and immediately moves over to Tino, who was hiding behind Cry. Liz starts shit-talking the poor girl, claiming that she can't believe that Tino is so useless that she can't even survive this stupid cave alone and had to ask Cry for help. Gil thinks that this is too much and tries to stop her, but gets such a strong back kick that he gets blasted into the wall. Liz then continues to berate Tino until she completely breaks down on the floor. But Liz has no plans of stopping and Cry is too much of a wuss to intervene until Tino gets on all fours and apologizes to Liz for her failures. He thinks that this is too much and finally intervenes, telling Liz that Tino did an excellent job during the quest, which is all thanks to her excellent training. Liz immediately changes her entire persona as she becomes a sweet girl who asks whether she has done a good job or not. Suddenly, they realize that the phantom has re-emerged from the wall, and behind him is a giant wolf boss from America with a huge minigun in his hand. This pisses Liz off as she puts her mask back on as the wolf starts shooting at them. She moves so fast that time kinda slows down, and she catches all the bullets with ease. Then, she jumps towards the beast and kills it with a single kick to its head. This monster of a woman then turns her attention towards the phantom who is getting ready to attack her. She casually catches the sword barehanded, knees the phantom in the air, and then punches him down on the ground. Poor Tino starts crying, and while Cry feels bad for her, he knows better than to get involved as he doesn't want himself to be manhandled by Liz like the phantom, who finally dies after Liz literally punches through its head. Finally, Liz calms down a little and hugs Cry while claiming that she missed him. They safely escape after that, and the next morning, Gil comes back to the training ground and gives his magic sword to Tino, claiming that he wants Cry to have it as he is going to train from scratch once again, as he wants to become as strong as Liz one day. But the other members don't seem that optimistic about that. Meanwhile, Tino thinks about the strange masks that the grievers wear. It turns out that Cry put in the order to create those masks for them. One day, Cry begins to look around for the slime that is supposed to be in the capsule around his neck. He got it a year ago from the most talented alchemist in his clan, who often gave her final products to him for safekeeping. They were mostly dangerous items, and she had told him that if he became careless with the slime and released it, it could destroy the entire capital city, which is why it is very alarming that he cannot find it. Cry knows that if he thinks any more about it, his 2 remaining brain cells will overheat and explode, so he convinces himself that the slime was never in the capsule, and he has been worried over a whole lot of nothing. He then goes to the clan building, where his secretary Eva tells him that the Treasure Hunter Association wants a report on the White Wolf's den. Cry tells her to send Tino with a report because she was the team leader. Eva informs him that Tino is training with Liz right now, and he immediately pities the poor girl. He then abruptly asks Eva if something noteworthy has happened in the capital. She tells him that nothing has happened, but she will start investigating. and he tells her that there is no need. He decides to pay Tino a visit and leaves everything else to Eva, who begins thinking about how Cry has been correct whenever he has made a prediction. She believes that since he is worried about the capital, something serious and terrible is going to happen soon. In the meantime, Cry reaches the training hall and finds a lot of grumpy hunters gathered outside the gates. A level 6 hunter named Sven tells Cry to get Liz under control, because he is the only one who can tame a beast like her. Everyone else needs to practice as well, but Sven is more worried about Tino dying if the training continues. Cry passes his remark off as a joke, but as the gate to the training hall is opened, he finds Tino lying on the ground while Liz menacingly stands in front of her, badly insulting her and demanding she get up. When she doesn't get up, the violence-crazed Liz decides to end her with a powerful kick. Luckily, Cry stops her before she can attack, and Liz stares at him creepily, asking if he is really stopping her. He affirms with a smile on his face, and says that Tino has reached her limits, so she should let her rest for today. She quickly returns to her cheerful self and tells Cry that she will let Tino rest since she can't fight anymore. But then suddenly, Tino grabs her leg. She uses all her strength to get up because she wants to look cool in front of Cry, and tells Liz that she can fight more. Liz is ecstatic to hear this, and as the two girls get ready for round 2, Cry leaves the training hall because he knows that he will die if he stays here. Outside, Sven thinks that this was Cry's grand plan to motivate Tino to become harder, and Cry lets him believe whatever he wants. After that, they sit down for tea, and Sven tells him that apparently the case with the White Wolf's Den is still not resolved, and some phantoms are still attacking the people on the northern road. He asks Cry what should they do, and obviously, he has no idea. Cry hopes that Ark was here right now, because he is better than him in everything, except maybe plot armor. Suddenly, he gets an idea, and decides to push the case to Sven and his team. He sends them to the Hunter Association to meet Gark and tells Sven to think of it as training. Cry happily leaves, impressed with his quick problem solving, but one of Sven's subordinates is not impressed with him. He says that despite being the leader, he has never seen Cry do anything worthwhile. Sven tells him that he should not judge Cry so easily, because that guy is a true monster. On the other hand, Gark from the Hunter Association thinks the same thing. He believes that while everything seems the same with the White Wolf's Den, Cry must definitely know something, because he won't go there without any reason. Far away from them, in an underground lab, an old wizard is also thinking about Cry's involvement in the recent case. He is a member of a secret organization called the Akashic Tower that is trying to research ways to create treasure vaults artificially by manipulating the energy flowing within the earth. The old wizard is the mastermind behind the plan, and he was behind the mutation of phantoms in the White Wolf's Den as well. However, he never imagined that a high-level hunter like Cry would enter the treasure vault and find out about their plan. The old wizard deems him a danger, and says that they must abandon this location and go to another place to continue their research because they can't fight him without their head of security, who is currently out of town. Meanwhile, Cry has a nightmare about a giant black slime that burns the entire city. He wakes up sweating because the heat from the burning city was too real, but turns out that the cause of the heat was Liz, who has snuck into his bed. This is nothing new for Cry, and he doesn't even get a raise out of Liz because he has been there and done that. She asks him if he is free today because she is taking a break from work and training, and they should use this chance to go on a playdate. Cry decides to agree to whatever plan she has because it is better than working. However, as they go to the clan building, they are shocked to find Gark, who came here since Cry kept making excuses. He tells Cry that they need to talk, but Liz stands up to him and tells him to clean up his mess himself and stop relying on Cry. Gark grows furious at this and complains about her leaving a high-priority mission incomplete, but she tells Baldy to stop disturbing their date. They keep on bickering, and Cry thinks that he is witnessing a roast battle between Eminem and Gordon Ramsay. Suddenly, the Battle of Curses turns into an actual fight, and Cry asks Gark's assistant to come upstairs so that at least they can talk like civilized people. He reads a report about the White Wolf's Den, and tells the assistant that there was nothing remarkable when he saw it. He says that he is worried about something else, but immediately realizes that he slipped and revealed something he should not have. The assistant asks him to elaborate, and he acts shady and mysterious as he says that he can't say anything right now, but his clan will cooperate with the association. He asks her to talk to Ark about this matter from now on because he can help her. Downstairs, Liz and Gark are still at it, and the reception is pretty much destroyed. The agile Liz keeps getting an upper hand on Gark, even though they are equally matched in terms of strength. She fools around, telling him that he has grown old and his joints must be making popping sounds when he moves this much. Enraged by her insults, he uses his full power, but Liz easily dodges his attacks and keeps him under pressure. Just then, Cry comes down and asks both of them to stop. While Gark is in no mood to back down, Liz immediately rushes to Cry's side and clings to him, saying that they should resume their date now. Everyone goes their separate ways, and Cry and Liz go out on their play date. He asks her about the level 8 treasure vault she was exploring, and she tells him that it was really fun, and the monsters there are the best. However, she got bored after a while and returned to see him. His thoughts venture to the missing slime again, and he wonders if it will really put the city in danger. Liz asks him why is he looking so down, and he asks her what would she do if the country gets destroyed. Without missing a beat, she says that she will run away to a tropical island and enjoy a long vacation. Cry is taken aback at her positive and carefree attitude and thinks that he should learn something from her. Suddenly, Liz gives him her bag and goes to subdue a random man on the street. Cry panics as he asks her what is she doing, and she says that this guy was stalking them. Cry tells her that she is being paranoid and asks her to let the guy go. The man freaks out a bit as he sees Cry and then runs away, which makes Liz think that this was all part of his plan. She says that his acting was too great, and then asks him why he let the guy go. She wants to know what is their next move, but Cry doesn't even know what she is talking about. The next day, Cry and Liz go to the most dangerous part of the city, and she still thinks that this is a date. Cry tells her that it is not a date, and he is here on business. According to information he received from Eva, a lot of people have been missing from the slums, and though it is not something that would concern him otherwise, he is worried that the missing slime might be involved in it somehow. As a bonus, there is also a new ice cream shop nearby, and Cry plans to check it out after just doing the bare minimum for his mission. He tells Liz that they should check out the ice cream store first, and she is really happy, but the owner of the ice cream shop is not. He is the same guy whom Liz caught last time, but Cry let him go. He fears that Cry really let him get away on purpose, and now he is here to capture him. He doesn't even understand how he could learn that this ice cream shop was just a front to one of the research bases of the Akashic Tower. He plans to close the shop immediately, but then the door suddenly opens and a redhead named Sophia comes there. The man sees some hope for himself now because Sophia is actually the in charge of all the defense-related issues in their organization. Outside their gate, Liz gets impatient and tries to blow the door away, but Cry stops her, saying that maybe the shop doesn't open today. She reluctantly obeys him, and they go back to their clan, much to the fake shopkeeper's relief. Back in his office, Cry asks Liz if she knows when will the alchemist Citri return from the level 8 treasure vault. Liz says that she may take some time, and Cry only hopes that she returns before her slime destroys the entire city. Just then, Eva comes to the office and tells him that the Hunter Association has formed a team to investigate the White Wolf's den. It seems they are going all out this time, sending even a relic expert to see if they can find anything new. Cry thinks that it seems to be a big deal, but that doesn't bother him because he is not going there anyway. On the other hand, the shopkeeper reaches the headquarters of Akashic Tower and tells everyone that Cry found him. He is terrified because Cry saw through their perfect disguise and then didn't even take any actions against them. He shivers, saying that he can't even guess what is going on inside Cry's mind, and others also feel clueless in this situation. They turn to Sophia for suggestions, and she tells them that they should fight against Cry and his clan head-on. Everyone is shocked, but she assures them that they have a chance to win even though their enemy is at level 8. She is confident that the security system she has built can win against Cry's clan, and the old mage gives her the permission to do as she wants because they can't back away from this fight forever. The next day, the building of the First Steps clan is packed to the brim with adventurers. As Tino enters the building, she is shocked to see so many people and asks a guy what the hell is going on. He tells her that they have gathered here to investigate the White Wolf's den, and Tino thinks this is a bit of overkill. However, the man tells her that Cry was planning to send Ark there first, and Tino is even more shocked. Sending a level 7 hunter like Ark to a level 3 treasure vault means that the matter is more serious than anyone can anticipate. That is why the association and their clan have brought together a large number of treasure hunters to compensate for that. Soon, Cry and Eva also come there, and Cry asks if all these people have gathered for some sort of party. Eva tells him that they are going to investigate the White Wolf's den. She explains that since Cry requested Ark to take care of the job, she assembled a force that could serve as his substitute. That comes as a shock to Cry, because he mentioned Ark because he is the typical Mr. Perfect who does everything perfectly. He thinks that deploying these many people will cost him a ton, so he suggests that they reduce the number by half. The hunters freak out on hearing that because they think that they are going to die now. Eva calms everyone and says that Cry must have something important to tell them, which he obviously does not. He tries telling them that the difficulty of the mission won't be as high as they think, but they refuse to believe him. Cry turns to Eva and asks about the rewards for the hunters and learns that Chief Gark has issued additional funds to make sure everyone is paid well. With the money issue resolved, Cry tells the hunters to do as they please, and they are glad that they can all go to the vault together. Just then, Liz arrives there, calling them a bunch of sissies who are too weak and don't even have the guts to overcome challenges to become strong. She jumps up to Cry's place, telling him that she will take this mission, and she just needs Tino to come with her. Cry immediately refuses to entertain her request because he doesn't want to endanger Tino's life, and doesn't want the morale of other people to go down. He says that everyone here will go on the mission, and then Eva tells him to take command of the group. Cry is taken aback to hear this, but everyone else is relieved, thinking that their safety is guaranteed since the clan master is coming with them. Cry realizes that he can't simply say that he is not going to come with them, so he says that he will be joining them later. Until then, Sven, who is already at the White Wolf's den, will take the command. Before everyone leaves, Cry tells one guy to beware of slime monsters in the odd case they are present in the vault. The team of treasure hunters go to the treasure vault, unaware that it is the base of Akashic Tower, who think that Cry has sent the treasure hunters to deal with them. While they are torn between how to react, Sophia says that this is their chance to attack the hunters when they are still not ready. She says that her defense system has been designed to fight against the most powerful hunters, and only the Grievers party combined can beat it. However, only Cry, Liz, and the alchemist Citri are near the capital right now, and she already has plans on how to beat Cry and Liz. Citri is the only one she doesn't have a foolproof strategy against, but it seems that Sophia has some personal score to settle with her, and she declares that she will crush her personally. She says that Citri found out their master's theory about creating new treasure vaults, and she has been trying her hand at that too. Sophia says that they can't let her do that, and asks the wizard permission to use their entire firepower to stop her. The wizard gives her the permission and makes her the commander of their forces for this battle, but his number 2 doesn't seem to be thrilled about it. Above them, Sven and his party don't find anything unusual, but he still believes that Cry sent them here for some special purpose. Suddenly, he gets a call and asks his teammate to blow the emergency whistle to alert the other treasure hunters. Once they get outside, Sven tells them Cry's message about watching out for a slime monster, and the treasure hunters are pissed because they are supposed to be taking orders from a man who doesn't even have the balls to be present on site. Sven tells them to trust Cry's judgment, and then recites a story about how he once invited everyone to a flower watching party and told them to bring their weapons. Just as Cry made the toast, a treasure vault manifested behind him, and everyone realized that he predicted this. The hunters are taken aback by this, and Sven once again tells them that the information Cry gives is more valuable than anything else they can find. Back in Cry's office, Liz is pestering him to give her some work too, because she wants to show off her fighting skills in front of him. Cry is already irritated by her behavior, and wonders how long does he have to tolerate her before the hunters can solve the issue in the White Wolf's den, and he can just show his face there at the end.